If you want more prospects reaching out to you already sold on working with you, this is how you're going to do it. Today, I'm going to show you how to define your core client, the one person your entire brand should be built around. I built one of the largest real estate teams in Canada, closing over 13,000 properties, and we've worked with a lot of clients. Now, we didn't get there by winging who we were serving. We did it by getting laser beam focus on one specific client that we built our entire brand around in serving, and a brand that emotionally connects with that one core client. Now, the number one mistake most real estate agents make is they try to serve everyone. They offer a generic service. Then they wonder why clients shop based on commission. When you try to be everything to everyone, you become nothing to anyone. And so most agents compete on how much commission they charge because they think, a lot of real estate agents think that we all do the same thing. And that's not true. How you deliver your service can be a major differentiating factor. And there are core clients out there that will resonate with your message. And so when you get very clear on who it is you're speaking with, your message becomes very potent to whoever is hearing it. So in order to overcome offering generic service to the masses, it's important to understand that real estate agents are in the marketing and relationship business. Now, when it comes to relationships, making them stronger is more likely to happen when you have a better understanding who you're trying to build a relationship with. It's hard to build a relationship with a crowd because there are too many different personalities, needs, and wants. I mean, if you're an agent, you've been in the business for many years, you know that every client has different things that are important to them. But building a relationship with a single person rather than masses is very, very doable. So when you create your brand, it's important that you build it for a single client, and yes, only one. Now, will you serve everybody? Sure, you will. But your messaging should be geared to one person, heart to heart. So from one person to another person, and by doing that, you emotionally connect with them at a deeper level. Anytime you can simplify your approach and focus all your energy on one thing, the power of that one thing gives you outsized returns. Split focus is one of the main reasons for failure in business. In order to identify what your ideal core client is, reflect on your favorite clients and which of your clients brought in most of your revenue. That's the first question. Second is, was working with them fun or not? Did time just fly by when you were working with them? Next question is, what kind of impact would attracting more of these clients do to your business? If you're new to real estate, think in terms of who does multiple transactions with you on an ongoing basis. Someone that needs to sell and buy a home. So ideally they're selling and buying, or perhaps a real estate investor that does multiple transactions. Clients that transact in the higher price market as well, or a certain demographic that seems to be attracted to you, and that is potentially is large enough to be able for you to be able to hit your goals. Identifying who your core client is gives you such a major advantage in the marketplace. It allows you to focus your messaging to speaking to that one person. And so when you can simplify it that way, it just makes it much, much easier on how you're communicating. It allows you to build your service brand offerings, your communication in a way that acts like a magnet to be able to really resonate with who it is that you're speaking with. So after doing our market research, we realized that we represented a buyer or seller in more than 25% of the transactions over $1 million. We did this study a few years ago, and this was well above our average sale price. So we realized that the clients that were attracted to us really appreciated the quality of our marketing. They had beautiful homes, and they had high standards of service that they wanted from us. And so the majority of these clients were married. They had children. The children were young adults now, and they were selling their family home becoming empty nesters, and were now financially stable enough to go out and buy their dream home. So they were selling and buying. They were actually upgrading their property. They were representing 2 sales to us, so it was a lot of revenue coming in. And we realized that the majority of the cases, the final decision maker generally came down to the misses. And so although the Mr. and the Mrs. were both very important, we found that the misses being comfortable was most important. And so we came up with our core client being Heather Homeowner. And so this allowed us to get very clear that when we're messaging to the marketplace, that one personality, one heart made it a whole lot more simple for us. And so we then looked deeper into Heather and as to where she was living. And so we realized that it was above average home price. And then we narrowed down the certain neighborhoods, the gyms, the business circles, networking events, the charity events that they were at, sports, Facebook, et cetera. And we started going to the areas that Heather was located. And we asked ourselves what influencers knew Heather. And we found that lawyers, accountants, mortgage brokers, financial advisors, and trades, they knew Heather. So we started building relationships with these influencers. And we wanted to go even deeper to truly understand the pain problems that Heather experienced and what was going through her mind during the home buying and selling experience. We really wanted to understand what kept Heather up at night. So when she was laying in bed at night, what were her main concerns that she was worried about? And then we reverse engineered our service to be able to service Heather. And so we also started to ask our clients and to review all the reviews as to what they were saying about our service and what the concerns were throughout the home buying and selling process. And so we went deep on this analysis, and it really helped us truly understand what was important to our core client. And so you can imagine if you go this deep with analysis on who it is you're servicing, it's a game changer. This makes you stand out big time, and it helps you really connect with who it is that you're serving. So intimately knowing your core client and understanding what kind of emotions that they're experiencing through the home buying and selling process, it allows you to better serve them and gives you a massive advantage in the marketplace. And it's really important to note that just because we focus our marketing towards one type of client, it doesn't mean that we don't service other types of clients that reach out to us. Now, of course, there are some clients that we don't see it as the right fit, and we'll choose not to work with that client. But that's more so perhaps if the pricing was unrealistic, it was too high, or perhaps it was a matter of the seller was doing something that we didn't agree with from a legality. They wanted us to, lie about something in regards to, maybe there was some moisture in the basement or some mold there, and they wanted us to not tell the truth. Certain scenarios are more one-off like that. But we service most clients that come to us, even though it's not our core client. But getting clear who our messaging to in as one person or one heart allows us to be consistent in our approach, and it helps us simplify our messaging in a big way. So the question for you is, what core client group would find your service attractive? What's important to them? What problems are they trying to solve right now? And what's keeping them up late at night worried about? And so when you're narrowing down and getting to know your core client, figuratively, like not for real, but actually lay down with them, beside them, and try to get in their mind as to why and what is going on when they're selling, and communicate your message to be able to speak to those problems and overcoming those problems. And so go into the dialogue that's actually happening with them in their minds, in their current minds, when they're going to bed and they're just about to go to sleep. And if you can get that messaging and then communicate to that, you're going to be able to cut through a lot of the noise out there and to be able to connect with them at a deep level. Intimately getting to know who your one core client is will simplify everything in your business in a big, big way. And ultimately, by doing that, it's going to be able to help you deliver a 5-star experience as well. So thanks for listening, guys. My mission is to help you become a pro, and together we can elevate the entire real estate industry. If you like the show, please share and subscribe to this channel. I love you guys, and keep going full out.